Welcome back. Anybody that's new, welcome. So, in this channel, we're not going to see a lot of clean drawings. They're going to be rough, clear, hopefully. And we're more about just trying to get the ideas across. That's like the biggest thing that I want to convey in all of these lessons or whatever they might be. So, today we're going to talk about variation. Now, when you look at this word, it can be quite boring. Everything's the same size going across. We have all caps. You know, we're going to stick to all caps because there's a reason for that, but we're going to try to change it up. And proportion is just changing your shapes, the proportions. So you might make one tall, one small, one wide, one big, large, very little. It doesn't matter, but the thing is, it will create interest. Does it take away from your story, your point, whatever it is you're trying to say? Is it too much? And then on another end, how do you do it? Here's some drawings I did for Ruby Gilman, Teenage Kraken. Now, you can really get lost in a lot of the little details and it could become overwhelming or a little confusing. We're going to lighten this layer and I did some simple shapes to help explain it. Now, remember what I said, just clear, not clean. So we have red for the heads, we have blue for the bodies, green for the legs, yellow for the feet, and also orange for the necks. Underneath all of it, all the clothes, all the details, there's still the same rules being applied. Now, this might still be a little confusing. So let's break it down. We're going to jump over to using Bob. If you remember Bob, he's very simple. So here's the turn from Bob, but we're not going to use the turn. We're going to use Bob's front view over here on the left. And then we are going to play with the other three by creating a couple little simple variations to help explain what I'm talking about. Without changing any of the features, as in the eyes, nose, mouth, ears, none of that. We're not playing with the hands or the arms yet. That's another part. We're just going to focus on the head, body, legs, and feet, and the neck. One that's a little smushed but a little taller. We'll give another one maybe a little bit of a shape, like a soft triangle. Maybe, you know what? We'll give him a thicker neck. We'll give him a thinner neck. And we will give him, let's go the opposite way from his head. We'll give him a little bit of a triangle neck. And what I mean is, like, if you were to draw those points all the way up, they would eventually connect. Okay, now let's add some bodies. So maybe he's a little bigger. Maybe he is a little smaller. And then maybe he also has a triangle body. Now let's add in those torso lines. Pelvis lines, torso. Oh my goodness. I get confused all the time. You need to add that line in so that way we can separate this part from this part because the legs connect to one and the arms connect to the other. All right. So let's add some legs now. So maybe he has some wider legs. We'll throw in some little feet in there. The same shape, just a little bigger. We'll get in some really thin legs. How about that? And maybe some really long feet. And then maybe at the end, we'll use kind of a combination. But to also match the triangle shape, maybe we have it tapering near the bottom. What I mean is by tapering is almost like the neck. It's coming down to a point. So it's somewhere down there. It's wider at the top. That's what a taper is. So maybe we still use the same shape underneath. Oops, let's get rid of that line. Don't need that. Now without the arms, if we turn this off, you already have now 3 different variations based off of one design. Is this now creates interest? Now they're not as boring as, I'm sorry to say, but sorry, Bob. Bob's pretty boring. These all look different from one another. And that's what will make your designs now interesting. So it's a simple thing. Just draw a front view, or you can use Bob yourself. And maybe instead of repeating these, try something else. Push your shapes further and just see what you come up with. Also, I have a book available where I go through all of this type of stuff if you're looking for more things or looking for things in more detail. You can visit my shop. I also have some of my work there if you want to check that out. But that's about it. So subscribe somewhere. I don't know where you really click on it. So yeah, until the next video, thank you for watching.